Hare Krishna, we'll give it another minute or two, and then we'll get started. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं कृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तम देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, welcome back to our Bhakti Vaibhav course. And we are currently in Canto 2. Now that you all have finished the exam for Canto 1, 2 modules are done. We are moving on to Canto number 2. So before we get started with Canto 2, I know you have already attempted this in your exam and you all are experts. But I just wanted to ask a question that will connect us to the verses in Canto 2. Can someone please volunteer to tell us the 2 questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj to not the sages but to Shukdev Goswami? Anybody? Yes, Saudamani Mataji.
Mataji, 2 questions were what is the duty of a person in all circumstances, and the second one was what is the specific duty of a person who is going to die very shortly.
And then he asks something else also.
Is it the one where he asks about whose name should be chanted, remembered?
Yes, let me know about what a man should chant, remember, and hear. And what? And then one more.
What should not be done?
Yes, what should not be done. Now, why we are stressing on this is because that's how Canto 2 begins. So both of you are right. These are the different questions that was asked by Parikshit Maharaj. The first question he asked is, of course, what is the duty of people in all circumstances and specific duty of a person who's about to die. And the second one is about what we should hear, chant, and remember. What should a man hear, chant, and remember, and also what he should not do. So there is a very clear demarcation between what should be done and what should not be done. Because sometimes there is a tendency to say even this also falls into the accepted activity. So there could be some forbidden activity and somehow or the other we make way for it, and we say, yeah, in this, even this can be included in this bucket. I can include even those activities not be accepted as okay. So, a very clear question. What should we hear, chant, and remember, and what should not be done? Why specifically Parikshat Maharaj is asking what should not be done? Because the tendency of general common public is to do what should not be done. That is what we are mostly doing. That's why he's asking this question for the benefit of all, not only for himself, for the benefit of all. Okay. So that leads us to the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And interestingly enough, the first chapter of Canto 2 begins with what should not be done. And that is what we are doing every day. Okay. So it is for all of us what should not be done. Okay, let's see the the chapter 1 for Canto 2 is titled The First Step in God Realization. But before we go to that, if you see Srimad Bhagavatam, you see that the first canto is called as Creation. The second canto is called as the Cosmic Manifestation. This cosmic manifestation relates to the secondary creation that is there within this universe. And chapter 1 is the first step in God realization. So you should know what you should not do and what you should be doing. So let's start off with the first verse, which is actually the invocation. Just like how the first canto began with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Similarly, Canto 2 also begins with the same invocation, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And the translation is, O my Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport, Prabhupada. So, Prabhupada, he says in the purport, Vasudevaya means to Krishna, unto Devaya, Krishnaya, Govindaya means to them. So we say idam Krishnaya, idam na mama. That's what we say when we offer any substance and sacrifice. We say this is for Krishna. So we were offering our obeisances for Krishna, to unto Krishna. So Vasudeva means the son of Vasudeva. Son of Vasudev is Vasudev. Krishna is Vasudev. He's not Vasudev. Vasudev is the father, the son is Vasudev. So Vasudevaya means unto Krishna, who is the son of Vasudev. And since by chanting the name of Krishna, Vasudeva, one can achieve all good results of charity, austerity, and penances, we can understand that by chanting this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, the author or the speaker or anybody who is reading the Bhagavatam and who's offering respectful obeisances to Krishna, he is immediately benefited. Okay. So this is how we see the beginning of second canto. There is a story in the Mahabharata about a person by the name Mudgala. I don't know why suddenly I'm telling the story, because this Vasudevaya triggered that story in my mind. About chanting invoking the Lord's name, right? Here Prabhupada says, since by chanting the name of Krishna, Vasudeva, one can achieve all good results of charity, austerity, penances. And it is understood that by chanting this mantra, the author or the speaker or any one of the readers of the Bhagavatam is offering respectful obeisances unto Lord Krishna, who is the reservoir of all pleasure. So immediately it invokes all good results. That is the meaning that is mentioned in the first paragraph. So in Mahabharata, there is a story of a person by the name Mudgala. There are two Mudgalas in the Mahabharata. In the later sections, there is the story of this Mudgala who was not a very pious person. He was doing all the wrong activities in the world. And as expected, at the end of the life, he goes to the hellish planets. And Yamaraj has an interview with him. Rather, he's giving an interview to Yamaraj. And Yamaraj, when Yamaraj sees that this person is brought in front of him, immediately he tells all the Yamadutas, "Why did you bring him of all people to hell?" He asks this question. You shouldn't have brought him. You made a big mistake bringing him to hell. And Mudgala was very surprised because Mudgala knew very well that he was the most sinful person and the destined place for him was hell. But then when Yamaraj saw him in the interview space and he saw that Mudgala has come, he started chastising the Yamadutas, telling, "Why did you bring him of all people?" Udgala himself was very surprised and he was thinking, "Oh, have I done something good at all? Why is Yamaraj telling that I should not be coming to hell?" And that is when Yamaraj explains, as Mudgala hears and the rest of them listen, that once during the time when he had to offer the Pindadan for his ancestors, that time he did a dan of a cow made with sesame. It's called tilago. That is, it's a cow that is, you can draw the shape of a cow with sesame seeds. So he does that during Shraddha ceremonies. Many people, if they don't have a cow, like you're living in huge buildings, that is 10 floor, 20 floor buildings, so many storied buildings, it is very difficult to have cows. And of course, in modern day, nobody has a cow as a pet or something. But when you do the Shraddhas in these days, they tell you can just draw the picture of a cow and then mentally you can offer that cow as a donation. So what happened was this Mudgala, he created the shape of a cow with sesame seeds because black sesame is supposed to be very important at the time of Shraddha ceremony. So he uses that and he draws a cow and he gives dan, okay, because he doesn't have a real cow to give dan. So he does this and mentally he's trying to give dan. And the Pujari who was there, or rather the priest who was helping him go through this ceremony, he tells that when you're donating mentally this cow, you're supposed to say Krishnaya, this is for Krishna. Vasudevaya, this is for Vasudeva, and do it. Even without realizing the importance of chanting the holy names, he said Krishnaya, and he gave that cow. And because he said that one word, Krishnaya, he is not fit to enter hell. That too, accidentally, he said that. So, this word Vasudevaya, Krishnaya, all this is very, very powerful. So, when we say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, it goes a long way. It's not just the good results of charity, austerity, and penances, but you're directly chanting the holy names of the Lord, and the Lord's name is very purifying, very, very purifying. So, it seems the entire hell became like the spiritual world for that few minutes when Yamaraj was repeating the incident. He also said, he chanted Krishnaya. And at that time, that entire hell appeared to be like the spiritual world. So that is the power of the holy name. And that is what Prabhupada draws our attention to in the very first paragraph. Vasudevaya means unto Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. So by chanting the name of Krishna or Vasudeva, one can attain all good results. Then he begins to tell us what is seen in the second canto. In the second canto, what do we see? We see the presentation of the cosmic manifestation, the different planetary systems, which are different parts of the universal body of the Lord, is presented in the second canto. And that is the reason we saw the topic name of second canto is the cosmic manifestation. Okay, and there are 10 chapters in second canto, and these 10 chapters, in these 10 chapters, the purpose of Bhagavatam and the different symptoms of this purpose is narrated. What is the purpose of this Bhagavatam that we are going to study? That is mentioned in the second canto. So here is the summary of what all to find in the second canto. The first chapter describes the glories of chanting, and it hints at the process by which a neophyte devotee may perform meditation on the universal form of the Lord. Actually, this is the first chapter. First chapter is very important because in the first chapter, here we are going to find an answer what not to do. Okay, and actually, we are doing that every day, and we should not be doing this. So, we find an answer what not to do and what to do. What to do is also presented in the very first chapter. And what to do, you should be chanting the holy names of the Lord. I mean, that is already kind of hinted with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya in the beginning. So, what you should not do, that we will see. And what to do, I think it's very obvious. You should be chanting the holy names of the Lord. And right after that, Shukdev Goswami thinks that there are, so many different kinds of personalities present in the assembly. It was not just Parikshit Maharaj. There were so many great sages, yogis, all the people who had come from different parts of the world, and they were practicing different paths of yoga. So now he had to clarify because he starts glorifying bhakti so much that it might create a doubt in the hearts of the people who are present there. So, to clarify that other processes are meant to be a neophyte process, it's not a very advanced process. He does talk about the people who meditate on the universal form. Then he talks about meditation on the Paramatma, which is more advanced. And at the end, he says, yeah, there are so many paths, but actually, bhakti is the topmost path. Chanting the holy names is the topmost path. Okay, so in chapter 1 itself, he talks about what should not be done, what should be done, and also he hints, gives us a hint to the process by which certain neophyte devotees perform meditation on the universal form of the Lord. So all this you will find in the first chapter. So in this very first verse, Shukdev Goswami, he begins to reply to the questions of Parikshit Maharaj, who asked him about the duties of a person at the time of death. So he begins to talk about it very, very clearly in the very first chapter. And Parikshit Maharaj was very happy that now Shukadev Goswami was there. And of course, he was a very great descendant of Arjun, who was a close friend of Krishna. Of course, he was very, very humble. He was meek, but still Parikshit Maharaj, he acknowledges that Krishna was very kind to his grandfathers, especially his own grandfather Arjun. And because Krishna was always pleased with Maharaj Parikshit's family, he was glad that by Krishna's mercy, at the time of Parikshit Maharaj's death, Shukadev Goswami had appeared there on the scene. So Parikshit Maharaj was a great devotee. He was a devotee since his childhood, and he had spontaneous natural affection for Krishna. And Shukadev Goswami, who had appeared there, he appeared because it was Krishna's decision that Shukadev Goswami should appear there. Shukadev Goswami could understand the devotion that was there in the heart of Parikshit. So the minute he heard these two questions from Parikshit Maharaj's mouth, Shukadev Goswami was extremely happy. He could understand that Parikshit Maharaj is coming to the point. He's coming to the point of worshipping Krishna. So Shukdev Goswami was very welcoming the minute these two questions were asked. And he told Parikshit, my dear Parikshit, since you have raised questions about Krishna, or rather what should be done, whom you should talk about, this question is very, very glorious. So that is the next verse. He appreciates the question. Shukdev Goswami appreciates this question. He says that it is krito lokahitam nripa. This is for lokahitam. Hitam means for the well-being, right? For the good. So it is not just good for you, the question that you're asking. It is good for the entire world. So Shukadev Goswami was very pleased. Now, there is an art of asking questions and art of answering, right? We see in these great scriptures, the questions asked were not very trivial. Sometimes we ask very trivial questions, and The reason we ask questions most of the time to the speakers or to the reciters of Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or anything is just to reconfirm what we are already thinking. We just want somebody to tell, yes, what you're thinking is correct. That's all. Whether and if someone says, no, what you're thinking is wrong, we go to the next speaker and we ask them, okay, you confirm. Till someone says what you're thinking is right, we will keep asking the same question. So we've all done that throughout, our journey in Krishna consciousness. All of us have done that. We just want a reaffirmation, that's all. So till the speaker says you're correct, whatever you thought is right, we won't leave. We'll go from one speaker to the other till they establish what we are thinking is perfect. And also sometimes we already know the answer. We are just asking for the sake of asking, for the sake of starting a conversation. Yeah, those questions are fine if they're fostering your Krishna consciousness. There is no problem. But the kind of questions that Parikshit Maharaj asked and the way Shukadev Goswami answered, it was not just for the benefit of satisfying their ego or satisfying what they are already thinking and getting a reconfirmation. Rather, it was for the benefit of the whole world. So this is the art of asking questions. We can learn this from Parikshit Maharaj. What questions to ask? Ask questions that are beneficial for oneself to improve one's sadhana. And also ask questions for the benefit of everybody. Everybody can be benefited by such questions. Such a beautiful question, right? Such an important question because everybody is going to die. Parikshit Maharaj, when he was asking the question, he said, for people in all circumstances, he didn't say, just tell me, I'm going to die in 7 days, tell me what I should do. No, he didn't do that. He said, I want to know about the people, what a person should do in all circumstances. Maybe he's not going to die today, but still he has to carry out a particular activity. Whom should he hear? Whom should he chant and meditate on? Can he meditate on something that is very trivial? Can he talk some trivial topics? Or what should he actually be talking? Not only him, what should I be doing? Because even I'm going to die in 7 days. So he was looking at everybody. As a king is always looking towards the benefit of all his subjects. He's not just looking for one's own benefit like today's kings, today's leaders. We are all only worried about ourselves. We are not worried about the rest of the world, including myself. I'm only worried about me, actually. But these great kings, they were magnanimous souls and they wanted to ask questions for the benefit of all. Now, Parikshit Maharaj, when he just had 7 days to die, there was no need for him to think about others. Absolutely no need because he already was suffering so much. Where is the need to ask about others' benefit for the others' benefit? It doesn't happen naturally for people like me, where if supposing I have a disease or I have some physical condition, I will only be worried about me. Why will I think about the difficulty someone else is having? Right? That's none of my business. I'll be like, I am only suffering so much. Why will I think of him or her? Parikshit was not like that. He was a very magnanimous soul. Being the king, he was worried about the well being of all his subjects. So let's see what Parikshit Maharaj, let's see what Shukadev Goswami told Parikshit about the question he asked. Question was already asked in Canto 1. You all know those questions. But now Shukadev Goswami is appreciating. So let's see what he says. Shri Shuka Uvacha वरीयानीश ते प्रश्न कृतो लोकहितं नृप आत्मवित्सम्मतः पुंसां श्रोतव्यस्यादि आदिषु पर यः पर. Anyone would like to read translation?
Hare Krishna Mataji Pranam. I can do that. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, My dear king, your question is glorious because it is very beneficial to all kinds of people. The answer to this question is the prime subject matter for hearing and it is approved by all transcendentalists. Hare Krishna.
So 2 in 1, he says the answer to this question is actually the prime subject matter for hearing because he has 2 questions and he says, yes, I'm going to give you one answer and that itself is enough. That itself is the subject matter for hearing and it is approved. I am not telling it, it is approved by all transcendentalists. It is just not me telling it. Everybody has approved this. It is universally accepted. Two things he does in one verse. He first glorifies the quality of question that was asked by Parikshit Maharaj, saying that Parikshit, you're not asking a question just for yourself, you're asking a question that is beneficial for everybody and not just one class of people. It's not like it's beneficial only for kings or only for workers or only for merchants. No, it is beneficial for everybody, all kinds of people. And if I answer this question itself, that answer itself is the subject matter for hearing, and it is approved not just by me but by all transcendentalists. Look at the words that come from Shukdev Goswami's mouth, uh, like for example, if I have to write a grocery list, no, if I when I go grocery shopping without a list, rather, I go and then I think, okay, I need beans, I need carrot, I need cabbage. And then I come home and then I look through my list and I realize that I don't have rice flour. So again, I run to the store to go and get rice flour. Then I think, okay, I'm all done. Then suddenly I realize I don't have mustard seeds in the house. Then again, I run. So, I go step by step without a proper plan. Now, when Shukadev Goswami was answering Parikshit Maharaj, he put all the answers together in one verse. And he said a verse that is so perfect in different angles. He said, my dear king, your question is glorious. He begins glorifying Parikshit Maharaj. Why is he glorifying Parikshit Maharaj? Because he says it's beneficial to all. And the answer to this question that I'm going to say is the real subject matter for hearing. And if Parikshit Maharaj might have a doubt, is it your opinion? He says, no, it is approved by all transcendentalists. So he's covering all areas. Not like me, who's going to the grocery store one after the other, forgetting everything. He has a comprehensive answer that is covering all areas. So that is the beauty of Shukdev Goswami's speech. And we can start seeing that right away. And throughout the Bhagavatam, he's like that. He understands what is there in the questioner's mind and he answers. Sometimes we just hear the question and we start blurting whatever we have read recently, irrespective of the question. Irrespective of the question, I have this answer, I blurt out the answer. Many of us, we all do that. But Shukdev Goswami is not like that. He's not answering something irrespective of question. He knows what the questioner is asking. He understands the mind of the questioner and he answers relevantly. So that is the beauty. No wonder he's Shuka, the great parrot, who recites so beautifully. Purport. Prabhupada says, even the very question is so nice that it is the best subject matter for hearing. This is Parikshit's question. Simply by such questioning and hearing, one can achieve the highest perfectional stage of life. Now, because Krishna is the original Supreme Person, of course, any question about him is always original and perfect. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that the highest perfection of life is to achieve loving service to Krishna. And because question and answers about Krishna can elevate one to the transcendental position, the questions of Parikshit Maharaj about Krishna and the Krishna conscious philosophy is highly glorified. So this Parikshit Maharaj, he wanted to absorb his mind completely in Krishna. And how can you absorb your mind completely in Krishna? It is possible only when you hear about Krishna. And Prabhupada says, for instance, we have the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that simply by understanding the transcendental nature of Krishna's appearance and disappearance and his activities, immediately one can return home back to Godhead and never come back to this world. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha. Right? As when you hear about the Lord's pastimes, his activities, his birth and activities, immediately you can perfect your life. So when we hear about Krishna, it is considered a very, very great auspicious act. Auspicious means not just piety of this world. Auspicious means auspiciousness leading to perfection. Okay, so it is very auspicious to hear always about Krishna. So Parikshit Maharaj requested Shukadev Goswami to narrate the activities of Krishna so that he can engage his mind in Krishna. And he just had 7 days, and his business was to engage his mind on Krishna. So when we hear about Krishna and his activities, like when we are hearing Bhagavatam, we should understand that Krishna is non-different from his name, non-different from his form, and non-different from his transcendental activities. So when we are hearing such transcendental activities of Krishna, we can immediately get cut off from the conditioned material existence of this world. So when you're hearing Harikatha, sometimes you feel you're already transported to a different world. When you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you forget everything else, right? You're in a different world altogether. That is the beauty of the topics of Sri Krishna. The topics of Krishna is very, very auspicious. It purifies three people. It purifies the speaker, it purifies the hearer, and it also purifies the enquirer. Here, Parikshit was enquiring. He had not yet started hearing, but already he became purified because he was enquiring about Krishna. So, three people are benefited. Who are the three people? I think this is one of the short answers. You will probably write later. So, who are the three people? The speaker, the listener or the hearer, and the enquirer. All three are immediately benefited when one is dealing with the topics of Sri Krishna. So, the topics of Krishna that we are going to hear in the Srimad Bhagavatam, they are compared to the Ganges water which flow from the toe of Krishna. Wherever Ganga goes, it purifies the land. Whoever bathes in Ganga is immediately purified. Similarly, Krishna Katha or topics of Krishna are so pure that wherever they are spoken, the place, the hearer, the enquirer, the speaker, everybody, all of them become purified. So, what did we learn in this verse? That the enquiry was so powerful. It was about Krishna. The inquiry, what should you hear? He knows. Actually, Parikshit Maharaj has already hinted what he is expecting. He already knows in his mind, but he wanted to hear from Shukadev Goswami. And Shukadev Goswami was so pleased. He said, actually, the answer to this question is the prime subject matter for hearing. Everyone should be hearing this. And it is approved by everybody. One should continuously hear about the pastimes of Sri Krishna. That is the perfection of life. One should simply hear Krishna Katha. By hearing Krishna Katha, you will continuously absorb your mind in Krishna, and everything else in this world will be irrelevant. And it is automatically purifying for three kinds of people. Who are the three kinds of people? The speaker, the hearer, and the enquirer. Everybody becomes purified. Okay. No, not this one. I think next few verses is for memorizing. You all must have memorized it. Oh, not yet, right? You've not yet memorized it. Okay. Not now. I'll tell you which one comes later. श्रोतव्यादीनि राजेन्द्र नृणां सन्ति सहस्रशः अपश्यताम् आत्मतत्त्वं गृहेषु गृहमेधिनम्. Anyone would like to read the translation, please?
With Mataji. Those persons who are materially lost, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society, O Emperor.
Correct. Sorry, Prabhu. I was looking elsewhere and thinking where the translation is. Sorry. Yes, Prabhuji, if you don't mind, can you read the translation again?
So, those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society, O Emperor.
So now he starts addressing what should not be done. What should be done? What should not be done? That was the question, right? What should we hear, remember, and chant? What we should not hear, remember, and chant? So now he's addressing the question, what shouldn't be chanted, heard, or remembered? What is happening? All the people who are materially engrossed. The people who are materially engrossed are called as Grihamedhi. Grihamedhis. Okay, that is the name for the people who are materially engrossed. So the people who are materially engrossed, we are blind to the knowledge of the ultimate truth. Who is the ultimate truth? Krishna. Knowledge about Krishna, we have no idea. So, what are we doing? We have so many subject matters, unlimited subject matters, right? From morning to evening. other than the 1 hour Bhagavatam class or the Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, whatever. Because everybody's life is so busy with material things that we are doing, fortunately or unfortunately. We have so many subject matters to hear, so many things, so much gossip, so much family matters. He did this, she did this. So much about movies, so much about sports, so much about what my neighbor is doing, so much about what is the latest trend in the town. There are so many unlimited subject matters for hearing in human society. So these people, these Grihamedis, because they are blind to the knowledge of this ultimate truth, they have subject matters, so many subject matters to hear. Prabhupada, very powerful purport. He tells us in the purport that in the revealed scriptures, there are two nomenclatures for householders' life. Generally, some people are called as grihasthas, the others are called as grihamedis. Now, grihasthas are those who live with wife and children, but they live transcendentally for realizing the ultimate truth. So they are in family life, but for them, Krishna is at the center. After coming to Krishna consciousness, after coming in touch with Srila Prabhupada's books and devotees, we are trying to be grihasthas, right? We are trying to live a life which is Krishna centric because we are taught by Prabhupada. Prabhupada has taught us, the temples have taught us, the classes have taught us. You have to, yes, you stay in family life with husband, wife, children, parent, children, whatever the setting is. And at the same time, you keep Krishna in the center and do your activities for the pleasure of Krishna. We have learned this after many, many years. We have learned it and we are trying to implement this. So gradually, we are also becoming grihasthas. However, there is another class of people, how we were earlier, this is our past. We were grihamedis. These grihamedis are ones who live only for the benefit of their family members, extended or centralized, and thus they are envious of others. Actually, the word grihamedhi, when we see the word medhi, it says that the word medhi indicates jealousy of others. So when you have jealousy, you see someone else and you feel jealous, then you're considered a medhi. So a griha medhi, but who is always engrossed in one's own flourishing, one's own benefit, only one's own family affairs, one's own progress, generally they are envious of others. They are not happy when the other person progresses. So we have seen this. I mean, I can definitely reflect and think about how people in family life are. Sometimes we see that our child, for example, is very good in, say, math or science, and we feel very proud. Oh, it is my child. My child is excelling in this. And maybe another child is also excelling. The minute we see the other child is excelling from a different family, there is immediate envy or we feel jealous. Oh, why should he excel? Only my child should excel. So this is something that is very subtle. Maybe it's not so gross like you all think, but it is subtle. It is there in the heart, right? Not only with children, with everything. Maybe I may think I get so much salary, but when I see that the other person is earning better than me and they have a better quality of life, definitely I feel jealous. I feel, oh, I wish I get it. Why should only they have it? Even I need it. Right? So that is Grihamedi. Worrying, being interested only about one's own family affairs, one's own benefit materially, and having that inherent jealousy in the heart when they see others progressing. We think that why are they progressing or why are they enjoying and why am I not enjoying like them? So this is Grihamedi. Therefore, one Grihamedi is not in good terms with another Grihamedi. And in the extended form, one community, society, or nation is not in good terms with another counterpart for selfish interest. Today, wars are going on between different countries. So many countries are involved. Why all this? Because of this Grihamedi culture. I should flourish, the other person should not. Why should he flourish? If he has some natural resource, I should get the benefit of it. He should not have the benefit of it. So, like that, there is a difference between Grihamedis and Grihastas. Grihastas, there is a difference. Grihastas, they are not the center. For a Grihastha, Krishna is the center. For a Grihamedi, oneself, one's own family, one's own self-interest, that comes in the front. So in the age of Kali, we see that all householders are jealous of one another because they are blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth. Especially we see this in family politics, right? Especially within the family, even friends we can tolerate if they are excelling, but we cannot tolerate another family member excelling. Within the same family, there is a fight. So the closer you are in the as a part of the family, the more envy it is there in the heart. So, like this Prabhupada says, there are so many subject matters for hearing for these Grahamedis. They hear about politics, they hear about science, about social and economic development, and so on. But then, because of a poor fund of knowledge, they have forgotten to ask the major question in life. Why am I suffering? What is this life, birth, death, and old age and disease? These are the real problems of life. They are forgetting to inquire about that. And instead, they are simply fighting on trivial matters. Actually, human life is not meant for being a Grihamedi. Human life is to make an ultimate solution to the real problems of life, which is birth, death, old age, and disease. But however, the Grihamedis, they are an illusion. They have forgotten everything about self-realization. So they don't understand that the ultimate solution to all problems in life is to go home back to Godhead. Get out of this material existence. So this process of going home back to Godhead, what should you do? What is the process? If you really want to go home back to Godhead, you should hear about the Supreme Lord. Our sadhana begins with Shravanam. We first hear about Krishna, right? We should hear continuously about his name, form, attributes, paraphernalia, all this. That is how we can shift our consciousness from being a Grihamedi to a Grihastha. When you hear more and more about Krishna, all the dirt accumulated and the heart is cleansed. You should hear, you should chant, you should chant, you should hear, you should hear, you should chant and hear. The more and more we do this, the more and more our mind is absorbed in Krishna. However, foolish people, they don't know this. They are not chanting and hearing about Krishna. They are hearing about all the worldly news. They're talking something else besides Krishna. So they are all very, very misguided. Therefore, we should not become a Grahamedi. We should not just exist to envy others. See how Prabhupada says. This is a powerful statement. If we analyze our own lives, sometimes it feels my whole existence is just about worrying about what the other person is doing and envying that person and thinking in my mind why I am not like the other person, why I am not progressing materially like the other person. So Prabhupada tells us one should not therefore become a Grihamedi simply to exist for envying others. One should become a real householder in terms of scriptural injunctions. And what do the scriptures tell about a real householder? A real householder is always chanting and hearing about Krishna, keeping Krishna as the center of his life. So this very beautiful purport that Grihamedis are wasting their time. How are they wasting their time? Because they have so many subject matters to hear and chant. So in this verse, what is Shukadev Goswami telling us? Shukadev Goswami is telling us, don't be a Grihamedi. What you should not do. Do not hear and chant all the time about mundane topics. Rather, try to be a Grihastha. Try to involve your hearing and chanting around Krishna. That is the only way for us to get purified. Okay. Text 3. He continues. निद्राय ह्रियते नक्तं व्यावायेन च वावयः दिवाचार्थे हया राजन् कुटुम्बभारेण नेवा. Anyone?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Bol.
Okay, Hare Krishna. The lifetime of such an envious householder is passed at night, either in sleeping or in sex indulgence, and in the daytime, either in making money or maintaining family members. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol. So we are wasting our life. Agrahamedi, day in and day out, talking subject matters, irrelevant subject matters, that is not benefiting the soul. Hearing unnecessary subject matters, and his entire lifetime is wasted. In the night, it is wasted because we are simply sleeping. We are not doing any activity, or we are just enjoying in the night. And in the daytime, we are making every minute is precious in the morning. You have to log in, you have to go to your daily meetings, you have to make money. So the whole day is gone. 8 to 10 hours is gone in endeavoring for making money. Why are you making money? Why? Why? Because you have to maintain your family members. It's a big duty. Kutumba bharena. To maintain the family members. Actually, you ask anybody, are you happy working? They'll say, no, I don't want to work. But they will still do it. Why? It's their duty, because they have to maintain family members. So they are doing it. This is how this human civilization is based on. This human civilization, Prabhupada says, is primarily based on the principles of sleeping and sex indulgence at night and earning money in the day and spending the same money for family maintenance. So such a type of civilization that we see today, our consciousness is so absorbed in frivolous things actually throughout the day. We are not giving sufficient time to think, to hear, to read about Krishna. It has to be incorporated somehow or the other. Even in a busy day, when you have so many meetings or you have whatever, you have so much work to do, or if whatever the situation may be, you have to take care of family members. There is a lot of duty for a grihastha, but still a grihastha keeps Krishna in the center and tries to bring his focus back in Krishna again and again. But however, an envious householder, a grihamedi, the word uses envious householder. Why is it envious? Because only he wants to flourish, right? Somehow or the other, he wants to flourish. So what is he doing? He is wasting his night in sense pleasure or in sleep. Daytime, he's wasting just in family maintenance. Now, Bhagavatam is not telling don't maintain your family. Bhagavatam is telling do your duty, maintain your family. But your consciousness, you have to train your consciousness in such a way that you're able to think about Krishna throughout the day. Prabhupada explains this point. He says, see, human life is a combination of matter and spirit soul. We are not just this body, or we are just not, I mean, we are spirit soul, of course, but we have a body. Being a spirit soul, we also have a body. So our human life is a combination of both matter and spirit soul. But this matter is very contaminating. So this Vedic knowledge, these scriptures, Bhagavatam, they are directed at liberating the soul from contamination of matter. So the knowledge that concerning this science of the soul or Atma Tattva is something that we should focus on. We are forgetting this. We are only worried about bodily maintenance. Yes, you have to maintain body. If you don't have a body, you cannot keep the soul intact. You need a body. Yes, great, you need it. But don't think just dharma, artha, kama is everything. People who are very materialistic, they are unaware that there is something beyond economic development and material enjoyment. Such people, they are called as karmis or fruitive laborers, and their life is like this. It is all about enjoyment in various ways. So above the karmis are the jnanis and yogis, and beyond that is the devotees or the bhaktas. The karmis more or less they don't have this Atma Tattva knowledge. That is, they are not giving enough focus to the spirit soul. Their entire worry is about the body. So, what happens for the karmis? For the karmis, their life is spent without any spiritual profit. But human life, it is not just for this artha and kama, not for just enjoying in the night and doing economic development through the day. It is meant to find solutions to the problem of material life. So the karmis are wasting their human form of life by laboring so hard in the daytime and trying to enjoy in the night for a few minutes. So by this, they are not improving their life because body and soul go hand in hand. You should worry about the soul. You should give enough time for the soul. Rather, they are only worrying about improving the standard of their materialistic life. So, in this verse, the materialistic way of life is condemned. Shukdev Goswami is bringing to light how foolish men are wasting this human form of life. They have very few hours, 8 hours or 7 hours or 6 hours, depending on how much we sleep. That much is gone in the night, right? So much hours is gone in the night. We have very less time left. And the remaining time, we are after maintenance of the body, which is indeed needed. But it should not be the only focus, right? That it should be a secondary focus, not the primary focus. So that's what Shukdev Goswami is telling. He's telling this is what you should not do. I told you he'll be addressing what you should not do. And he continues to talk about the Grihanedis. So basically, what you should not do, you should not be a Grihanedi. That's what he's trying to tell in these 4 verses. Verses 2 to 4, he is telling what you should not do. Okay, 2, 3, 4 is about what should not be done. What should not be done? You should not be a Grihanedi. You should not just maintain your family for enjoyment. You should go beyond that. You should learn to be a Grihastha. You should learn to keep Krishna in the center. That is where he is getting at. So, text number 4. I think this is there for memorizing, but anybody has a handbook with them? Anybody has? Otherwise, also we can memorize. Anyone wants to read the verse? Or I'll read it once and others can read. देहापत्यकलत्रादिषु आत्मसैन्येष्व असत्स्वपि तेषां प्रमथो निधनं पश्यन्नपि न पश्यति. Anyone wants to read? Yes, Saudamni Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. देहापत्यकलत्रादिषु आत्मसन्निवेशस्वपि तेषां प्रमत्तो निधनं पश्यन् अपि न पश्यति.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else wants to read?
I can try, Mataji. It looks like a tongue twister to me. But
Yeah, I know. We'll try.
देहापत्य कलत्रादिष्व आत्मसंयेष्व असत्स्वपि तेषां प्रमत्तो निधनं पश्यन् अपि न पश्यति.
So here the word is Deha Apatya Kalatra Adishu. Deha means body. Apatya. Apatya means children. Kalatra. Kalatra, you all must have heard it. Kalatra means the spouse, wife. And everything else related to the body. They are all what? Atma Saineshwapi Asatsva api. They are all asatsu. Asat means not real, rather fallible. So this Atma Sainyeshu, these soldiers that we are thinking we are having, which is our body, our children, and our wife, we all think they are our soldiers. They are protecting us. Just like think about the story of Gajendra Moksha. So in the story of Gajendra Moksha, what happened? Gajendra was thinking my wife will protect me, my children will protect me. I have a very strong body, I can fight it off. Right? In everybody's story, we see that they think they are capable. And we think, I'm all in all. I'm capable, I can do this, I can do that. But did all these soldiers stay with Gajendra till the end? These soldiers, they were fallible. Asat, Sat and Asat. Sat is real, Asat is not real, or something that doesn't last. That is Asat. So they are all fallible soldiers. They are not real Sainya. Sainya soldier. They are not real soldiers. Tesham pramathonidanam. So when one is attached unnecessarily to all this, it will lead us to destruction. Tesham pramatto nidhanam pashyannapi na pashyati. Although sufficiently experienced, they are not really seeing their inevitable destruction. It is only leading to their destruction. They are thinking they are sufficiently experienced. They are seeing but not seeing. Pashyanapi na pashyati. They think they are seeing everything is going great. Everything is not going great. Everything is only leading to destruction. When we know that we have like I can say, I was thinking, okay, my husband will take care. Somebody will take care. I don't have to know about all this. Somebody is there for me. This person is there for me. That person is there for me. That person will take care of me. I don't have to worry too much for now. Actually, nobody is there for anybody. Ultimately, there is only one person who's Krishna. Nobody will last till the end. Only we have to fight it out, and the only person who will be there with us till the end is Krishna. So it is better to put our faith in the infallible soldier who is Krishna rather than the fallible soldiers. Like how Gajendra also learned his lesson quite hard. I think each one of us, we all learn our lessons in the hard way. So nobody is going to stay with anybody for long. Although sufficiently experienced, they do not see their inevitable destruction. Everything is going to be destroyed with time. So don't put your faith on fallible soldiers. Okay? So purport Prabhupada says, the material world is called as the world of death. Yes, this place is the world of death. It is Mrityuloka. Everybody is going to die. The minute you come to this material, the day you're born, the date of death is also decided. So this world is called as the world of death. And everybody is going to die, beginning from Brahma to the germs that live only for a few seconds. Everybody is destined to die, and at the same time, everybody is struggling for their existence in this world. So this life is a fight against material nature, and material nature is continuously imposing its death upon all of us. But though we understand this in this human form of life, in Chakravarti Pad in the purport, he says that we human beings, we think we are very intelligent. We think we are going to live forever. Even within our own family, he says, you are seeing people dying every day, and still you feel that you can you're going to stay forever in this material world. This was also one of the questions asked by asked by Yaksha to Yudhishthir Maharaj in the Yaksha Prashna section of the Mahabharata. He asks, what is the most amazing thing you have seen? Yaksha asks Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yudhishthir Maharaj says, oh, a person sees his own kith and kin die in front of his eyes, but he thinks he's going to live forever. So there's something called a Smashan Vairagya. So this Vairagya of, oh, what kind of life is this? Is only till Smashan Bhumi, till you see the death of your dear ones. Only up till the Smashan Bhumi. Once you're back home, you're back to your enjoyment. You think you're going to live forever. So that's what Prabhupada is telling. In this human form of life, a living being is competent enough to come to an understanding. We should come to an understanding that this struggle for existence is there, and we should win over this material nature. We should not put our faith in fallible soldiers. So, although he is sufficiently experienced in this matter by past experience and previous examples of his deceased predecessors, he does not see that the so-called fighting soldiers like the children, relatives, society members, and countrymen are all fallible in the great struggle. So he's seeing it day by day in and day out. Everybody comes alone, they go alone. He's seeing that. Nobody is there with anyone. No material person is there with anybody forever, right? Only Krishna is there. So one should examine this fact. Prabhupada says, look at what Prabhupada is telling. He says one should examine the fact that his father or his father's father is already dead and gone. and he himself is therefore sure to die. And similarly, his children will also die. Those who are the would-be fathers of their children will also die in due course of time. No one will survive in the struggle of material existence. So, it again and again, death is 100% guaranteed. 100% guarantee is there for death. But still, foolish people tell that they want to live forever. And with that poor fund of knowledge, this entire society is running on how to live forever. So, we are trying to get cosmetic creams, we are trying to have all sorts of health related things, thinking that we are going to live forever. But that is great. You should maintain your body. Nobody is telling don't exercise, don't eat healthy. You can do all that. But however, we should remember that that is not all in all. And we should not have too much attachment to things of this world. Even attachment, the most difficult attachment to give up is the attachment to the body. Actually, we want our bodies to be the best. It is a very strong attachment. But we should remember that is fine. You want to keep a healthy body, that is great. But only to the point that it is going to help you go beyond that bodily attachment and try to think for the soul, what is beneficial for the soul. We should understand that the living soul is always different from material nature. And in this ocean of material existence, these we living entities, we are like little foaming bubbles. How long is our lifespan? Maybe 80 years, 75 years. These days, nobody lives for 100 years. My grandparents, they all lived beyond 95, all of them. But generation after generation, lifespan is going down. So we're not going to live forever. We are all like these foaming bubbles. You see a bubble, how long does it exist? For a few seconds and it bursts. That is our lifespan actually. But we take it too seriously. And we take the people around us too seriously. We put all our faith in wife, children, society, countrymen, and so on. And we forget the main purpose of human life. What is the main purpose of human life? To understand we are spirit soul, understand that the spirit soul is the servant of Krishna, and re-establish our lost relationship with Krishna. So we become victimized by this ignorance that we are the body. That is an ignorance to think we are body itself. And we spoil the valuable human form of life. So we try to live permanently here. We want to live permanently here. We don't want to give up this world. We want to live permanently in this body. So much attachment. So that is the nature of all the people who live in this world. Prabhupada says our friends, relatives, and so-called wives and children are not only fallible, but they are also bewildered by the glamour of material existence. It is not just us. Even the people around us are bewildered. So how can they save us? If we are drowning in the ocean, in an ocean, a person who's also in the ocean cannot help us go to the shore. Only a person who's outside the ocean can come and save us. Like we have the famous painting that Prabhupada asked his disciples to paint, where there is a person who's drowning in an ocean and he's stretching out his hand, and Krishna on Garuda is coming and he's giving his hand and lifting up this person who's drowning in the ocean. The person who's outside this Bhavasagar, outside this ocean, is the one who can save you, not a person who's swimming with you. Like again, we can quote the example of Gajendra. Gajendra had put his initial faith in all the people who were trying to rescue him. Who were the people who were trying to rescue him? His wife and children. They were all trying hard, but they are also in a terrible situation. So our fallible soldiers cannot save us. It is not possible. So this entire human civilization is like a decoration of a dead body. There's also a two-mark question, if I'm not wrong. The whole materialistic advancement of human civilization is like the decoration of a dead body. Everyone is dead body, flapping only for a few days. And yet all the energy of human life is wasted in the decoration of this dead body. Shukadev Goswami is telling the duty of a human being is actually to focus on the real purpose of life, And he points out the awkward position of human beings who are bewildered in this material world. So, those who are devoid of knowledge of Atma Tattva are misguided, but those who are devotees of the Lord have perfect realization of transcendental knowledge and they are not bewildered. So, basically, this verse is telling don't put too much faith. This person is going to rescue me, that person is going to rescue me. All of them are fallible soldiers. They are also in the same position as we are in. If we are suffering, they are also suffering. If we are in this struggling in this ocean of material existence, they are also in the same boat. They are also struggling. So don't think that I can just put faith on my body. I can put faith on my children. I can put faith on my spouse. This is not going to stay long. All of us are going to die at some point in time. So, better go beyond attachments of this material world and focus on Atma Jnana, Atma Tattva, and finally focus your activities on Krishna consciousness. So this is the answer. 2 to 4. Shukdev Goswami is telling what one should not do. So to summarize what has been told so far, a Grihamedi is wasting his life. Apashyatam Atmatattvam. He develops great faith in fallible soldiers of body, children, and wife, and he does not see their inevitable destruction approaching, having sufficient experience of this over and over. So, this should not be done. Don't live a life of a Grihamedi. Okay, what should we do? Then, what should I hear? I should not hear material activities. I should not hear, talk, and meditate about material activities. I should not think my body is permanent, the people around me are permanent, all that fine. What should you do? That is answered in verse number 5. तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः श्रोतव्यः कीर्तितव्यश्च स्मर्तव्यश्च चेतथा भयम्. Somebody wants to read the recite the verse. Sorry, it's an important verse if I'm not wrong.
I can.
Anyone? Yeah.
तस्माद् भारत सर्वात्मा भगवान् ईश्वरो हरि श्रोतव्यः कीर्तितव्यश्च स्मर्तव्यश्च भयम्.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else wants to read the verse?
I can, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah.
तस्माद् भारत सर्वात्मा भगवानीश्वरो हरि श्रोतव्या कीर्तिव्याश्च स्मरताव्याश्चेचता भयम्.
Thank you, Prema. Anybody else?
I can, Mataji.
Yeah.
Bhavat Bhagwan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtavascha Smartavyas Bhayam.
Thank you, Prema. Nisha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I will pronounce. Thank you. Tasmadbharata sarvatma Bhagavaneshwaro Hari Shrotavya kirtitavyascha Smartavyascha Chetasabhyam. Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Dandavat pranam Mataji. तस्माद् भारत सर्वात्मा भगवानीश्वरो हरिः श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्यताभ्यम्.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Anyone would like to read translation? I saw Tulsi Gopi Mataji had a question. We'll take that right after this, so that there's a closure, and then we'll take that question.
Mataji, I was just raising my hand because Nishtha wanted to read the translation. That's
Oh, sure. Why not? Yes, Nishtha. Please go ahead, dear.
Translation. O descendant of King Bharat, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller, and the savior from all miseries.
Dang. Nishta, stay on. Nishta, who's this king of Bharata? A descendant of the king of Bharata. Sorry, who's this? Who's the descendant of the king of Bharat?
I don't
Any
know.
guess? No guesses?
Who is the listener of the Bhagavatam Bita? Who asks questions to Shukadeva Goswami?
What's his name? The one. Oh, Parikshit.
Maharaj.
Yes, Parikshit. Very nice. And he says, Shukdev Goswami tells Parikshit Maharaj, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear, glorify, and remember the personality of Godhead, who's the super soul, the controller, and savior from all miseries. Who is the supreme personality of Godhead?
Krishna.
Krishna. So, what should you do? You should hear, you should chant, you should glorify, and you should think about Krishna all the time. Okay? And Krishna is the super soul in your heart, right? So, he's constantly there with you and he's going to save you from all miseries. Hmm? Thank you, Nishta. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll go to the purport. So in the previous verses, we saw how Shukadev Goswami, he was describing about the foolish people who are very materially attached. What are they doing? They are wasting their valuable time. They are trying to improve their material condition of sleeping, enjoying, and improving the economic conditions. And they have a band of relatives who are trying to support them, but ultimately everybody is going to be vanquished. All their attempts is also going to be vanquished. The minute we die, everything goes away, right? Being engaged in all the materialistic activities, we are entangling ourselves in fruitive reactions, and we are taking one birth after the other. 8,400,000 species of life. We are just going up and down in a Ferris wheel of material existence. We are taking life of aquatics or vegetables or reptiles, birds, beasts, uncivilized man, human form of life. Like this again and again, we are going in this Ferris wheel, up and down, just going through different species. But then, if we really desire to get out of this vicious cycle of birth and death, we must stop acting as a karmi, as an enjoyer all the time. Daytime is spent in earning money, nighttime is spent in sleeping. Our faith is in the wrong place. We should not be doing all this. We must execute our activities on behalf of the Supreme Lord. We should keep Krishna in the center. And that is also said in 9.27. 9.27 says, Yat karoshi, yat ashnasi, yat juhosi dadasi, yat tapasyasi kauntevya, tat kurushva mad arpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give away, and whatever austerities you perform, O son of Kunti, do it as an offering to me. See, this is our state. All of us today, whoever is there in the call, we are all in family life. We all have duties to perform, being in Grihasthashram. And we cannot just give up everything and say, okay, today I'm 100% Krishna conscious. I'm just going to think about Krishna. I'm just going to chant Krishna. I'm not going to do anything else. That's not possible. That is simply not possible. But how do we get started? How do we get started? If all this while, in 3 verses, Shukdev Goswami was telling, don't hear this, don't do this, don't waste your time. He's told us so much. But what should we do? Okay, we should keep Krishna in the center. But how do I get started? This is how we get started. Yad karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad juhosi, yad dadasi. Whatever you eat, whatever you do, whatever you give away, whatever austerities you perform, do it as an offering to me. Just do your activities with Krishna in the center. It's a beautiful Bhagavad Gita verse. Try to not forget Krishna in any circumstance. Prabhupada says everybody has to work for maintenance of his body and soul together. So Krishna tells us that you start working for him. Everybody has to eat something. So you accept the remnants of foodstuffs that is offered to Krishna. We have to perform some ritualistic ceremonies. Krishna says, do it as an offering to me. Everyone has a tendency to give away something in charity. Krishna says, do it in my name. Say Krishna, yeah, and give it. Like how we saw the first story in today's class. Whatever you have surplus money, okay, use it in Krishna consciousness movement. So you want to do meditation? Meditate on the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And you can become the perfect yogi. So whatever you want to do, just do it as an offering to Krishna, keeping Krishna in the center. That's how we all get started. Nobody jumps to Bhav Bhakti on day one, right? We all begin with Yat Karo Shri Dashnasi. That is the ABCs of Krishna consciousness. We may be talking very lofty philosophy. We might be talking about some secrets on Bhav Bhakti and Prema Bhakti, and we might be getting involved in very intense Harikatha. All this can happen. That is great. But where do we start? To come to that point, you have to start somewhere. Where are you going to start? You start with Yat Karo Shri Darshana. See, that's why Prabhupada is telling the process of doing work is recommended in the Bhagavad Gita 9.27, where instruction is given for working on the Lord's account. So what should we do first? We should first hear about the Lord. We should read, not ordinarily. Prabhupada says, when one has perfectly and scrutinizingly heard and read, he will glorify the activities and deeds of the Lord. So we should scrutinizingly hear, we should scrutinizingly read. Then, if we do that, we can think of Krishna constantly. If you do Shravanam and Kirtanam, then you can do Smaranam. The more and more Shravanam and Kirtanam one does, automatically Smaranam falls in place. One cannot say, okay, I will do continuous Smaranam of Krishna. How will you do Smaranam if you have not started with Shravanam and Kirtanam? So we start with Shravanam and Kirtanam. We understand that hearing about Krishna's activities is non-different from Krishna. So this hearing and chanting will bring freedom from all kinds of fear. Krishna is the Paramatma. He is present in our hearts, and he is continuously watching what we are doing, right? So Krishna is the witness. He will help us succeed. He will help us succeed in all the activities that we are doing. So the fruitive workers, the philosophers, yogis, they all also ultimately have to do bhakti only. They all also have to ultimately hear and chant. Even in their process, there is a lot of hearing and chanting. But the process of bhakti is independent of other processes. So if we really want to be free from the material entanglement, what is the best thing that you can do? You can hear and chant about Krishna. Actually, everybody wants to be free from all kinds of fear, and everybody wants full happiness. We all are desiring happiness. Anandamayobhyashat. This is one of the sutras in the Vedanta sutras. Everyone is searching for happiness. Our existence is about searching for happiness, but we are searching for happiness in the wrong place. So the perfect process of achieving this topmost happiness is recommended in the Bhagavatam. It is confirmed by the great authority Srila Shukdev Goswami. All that you have to do is hear and chant about the Lord, and all your activities will be molded into spiritual activities, and material miseries will be completely vanquished in that process. So this is the method. If we really want to be free from material miseries, don't live the life of a Grihamedi. Rather, spend your time in glorifying, chanting, hearing, and thus remembering the personality of Godhead. Shrotavyaha. It begins with what? Shrotavyaha. Whom are you going to hear about? Bhagavan Ishwaro Harihi. He is Bhagavan. This Hari, he is Bhagavan Ishwaraha. He is the controller. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma. So therefore, O Bharata, O descendant of Bharata, Sarvatma, there is the super soul, Bhagavan, Ishvara, is there in your heart. What you have to do? Shrotavyaha, hear about him. Kirtitavyaha, glorify him. Smartavya, remember him. If you do this, then cha ichchata abhayam. If you do that, if you really have ichcha for abhayam, if you do all of this, you will be delivered from that fear. What is the fear? The fear is the fear of material existence. Living in this world, that is the greatest fear. So, of course, there are so many levels to this. Some people will say the greatest fear is death. Some will say the greatest fear is falling down to lower species of life. Yes, all that is great fears, but even staying in this material existence is also a very big fear. So, if we have ichchata abhayam, I don't want fear, I desire fearlessness, then what should you do? Shrotavyaha kirtitavya smartavya. So if you do all this, you will get ichchata abhayam, you will get fearlessness. Okay, so this is what Shukadeva Goswami is telling us, that don't be a Grihamedi, keep Krishna in the center, hear, chant. Remember Parikshit's question, what should I hear, chant and meditate? That's what he asked. Direct answer is given in verse number 5, where he says you have to hear, chant and meditate on Krishna. Krishna, who's the Paramatma, who's Ishvara, who is Bhagavan. And this Lord Hari is described in 3 ways. There's a small note from Chakravarti Pad here. Lord Hari, in the previous verse, if you see, he is described as Bhagavan, Ishvara, and Sarvatma in 3 levels. So, as Sarvatma, this is for people who do bhakti with a desire for liberation. Such a devotee should hear about the Paramatma if you're trying to do bhakti with a desire for liberation. If you're desiring Raganuga Bhakti, then one who is greedy to be fixed in devotion should hear about Bhagavan, the beautiful son of Nanda Maharaj, if you're desiring Raganuga Bhakti. If you're desiring Vaidhi Bhakti, one who desires the Lord, who causes fearlessness, one should hear about Ishvara, who's the supreme controller. So basically 3 words are used here to describe the Lord. One is Sarvatma, the Paramatma, one is Bhagavan, and the other is Ishvara. Why these 3 words are specifically used? Because it is used to attract 3 different kinds of people. There are some people who do bhakti because they want liberation. For them, the Lord is Sarvatma. For them, the Lord is Paramatma. Okay. There are others who want to serve the Lord through the process of Vaidhi Bhakti with reverence and all that. So for them, the Lord is Ishvara. He's the great controller. For those who want Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous loving devotional service, for them, the Lord is Bhagavan, the beautiful 2-armed form of Krishna holding the flute. Okay, so that's why 3 different names is used for Bhagavan. Though it's all one, it's all Krishna only, Hari only. So, but Hari is described in 3 ways. He's described as being Sarvatma, he's described as being Bhagavan, he's also described as being Ishvara. Okay, so now I know it's the 6th verse, but we'll stop. I know it's time up. But I want to tell you what is to be expected in verse number 6. So, Ante Narayana Smriti, 100 times you must have heard this phrase, you know, in so many years of Krishna consciousness, all of you must have heard this at least once a month. Ante Narayana Smriti, that is the goal of life. Right? You must have heard this. This comes from this verse. Very beautiful verse. Etavan Sankhya Yoga Pyam Swadharma Parinishtaya Janma Lapta Parapumsam Ante Narayana Smriti. I'll just read the translation and we'll stop. And on Thursday, Mataji will cover it in detail. The highest perfection of human life achieved either by complete knowledge of matter and spirit, or by the practice of mystic powers, or by the perfect discharge of occupational duty, is to actually remember Hari, Supreme Personality of Godhead, at the end of life. Who's this Hari? He's Narayana, the Lord who's beyond this material world. Narayana is there in Vaikuntha. Vishnu is not, I mean, they are all the same. We understand that everything is Vishnu Tattva. But when we say Vishnu, we generally mean to say the 3 Vishnus of this material world who are involved in taking care of this material world in Karanodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu. But the minute we say Narayana, that means beyond this cosmic manifestation. Prabhupada will describe all that in the purport. But so Ante Narayana Smriti. Ultimately, you should think of that Narayana and you should go home back to Godhead. Whether you are a Jnana yogi or a Dhyana yogi or a Karma yogi, whoever it may be, they all have to do Narayana Smriti only. Not just bhaktas, not just devotees. Even if you're choosing some other path, ultimately the perfection of human life is attained only if you do Narayana Smriti. It's a very beautiful verse. We won't do justice if we start it now. So we'll take this up on Thursday. I've done only till 6. I thought I'll do till 8, but that's fine. Mataji will take over from verse number 6 onwards. Okay. We'll end here unless you have any questions or comments or thoughts. Yes. Tulsigopi Mataji, you raise your hand again.
Yes, Mataji, I was just remembering that today's verses are actually Prahlad Anand Prabhu's verses. He always quotes them.
He always quotes these
Yeah.
Kalatradishu.
Yeah, today.
Every time he quotes them.
Today only I was reading about glories of the holy name, and in that also this Ante Narayana Smriti about in connection with Ajamil, different acharyas' explanation. So this was quoted again and again, but ultimately remembrance of Narayan, and even if it's the name and not actually you're remembering the Lord also, that is also gives perfection. So it's a nice. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Very well. Jai, Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so we'll end here. We'll catch up on Thursday. It's very nice. This one chapter of Canto 2, it's very beautiful. The thought process of Shukdev Goswami, the way he responds to all the questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj, it is there's a beautiful flow in this chapter. And suddenly he starts talking about the yogis who are meditating on Virat Rupa and so on. It's a very nice chapter and you'll all enjoy this chapter a lot, I feel. I know some people think it's very dry because the Ashtanga Yoga process is mentioned in great detail, but even that is so nicely presented in Bhagavatam. If you see from verses 24 onwards, there is a lot of description of the beautiful form of the Lord, though it is superimposed on the universe. I mean, it is the universal form superimposed on the universe, the form that is superimposed on the universe. Still, it is so beautiful. Okay, but of course, we are not Ashtanga yogis. But everything in this chapter will be very interesting. Okay. Yes, Mataji has given memorization verses 2.1.2, 3, 4, 6. Did we do everything? I don't remember.
And
6
11.
is,
That's it.
huh?
And six is there. Fifth is not there. We all
Fifth
recited.
is not
It's such a
there.
beautiful verse, but yeah.
Yes, sixth one is also there. Oh,
Sixth is there, and then 11th.
Yeah, Ante Narayana, of course it is there.
Yeah, that's there.
Great, great. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. That was very helpful. Okay, we'll end here.